I feel like garbage. It's part of the reason that I haven't really been making so many videos as of late is because I really don't feel good. It's been really difficult to do a lot of things. And trying to make this film is it's very difficult and hard on me just because I'm not used to having to like make film. You know, I'm not used to making a documentary, and I'm sure that, you know, maybe after making this one it'll be easier to make other ones. Who knows? Like maybe it's something that will improve over time. Maybe I'll get better at it or something. I don't know, but like I'm so tired all the time already, and then just adding like having to do all this other stuff on top is it's a lot. Like making documentaries or anything in film, you know, you see the finished product and it's like, oh, there's an hour of whatever, oh, that looks like it would be so easy to do, oh, I could do that, you know. And once you actually start doing all of those things, there's a lot more that goes into it than people think about. Like post-production is a big thing, like doing all the editing and putting in music and, you know, cutting out parts and adding in parts that you have that might be like 3 hours of footage, but you need to cut that 3 hours of footage down to like 2 or 3 minutes from that 3 hours, and then you have to take half an hour footage and pick out a minute from that one, and then you have to take other footages and splice them and cut them together. And it's a lot of work, right? Just going through stuff and time-stamping things. And I've been watching some of the footage that I have, and it's exhausting to just like listen to me talk about how sick I am, because it's kind of re-traumatizing me in a way, because I do talk about some traumatic things that have happened, and I can't include everything that I've been talking about because of the length of the documentary, but then also the length of all of the stuff that I'm doing. So it's a lot. I'm tired. I have palpitations today. I'm sweating. I have chills, a headache. I just feel like garbage. And personally, I really don't think that in today's day and age, people who are chronically ill should shut up about what they're dealing with. Just because someone thinks it's complaining does not mean it's complaining. Like, if you don't feel good, you don't feel good, and it's okay to not feel good. It's okay to have days where you can't do anything. It's okay to have days where it's just like, ugh, no, I can't get out of bed today because of how beaten my body is by this disease, or any disease for that matter. Like waking up dislocated in the mornings and then having to like reset most of my joints, or many of my joints. I wouldn't say most, but there's a lot, like my shoulders, my wrists, my elbows. I'm pulling them out a lot more, and I'm sure part of it is because of the amount of like stress. But that kind of stuff, it happens. It's part of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and if I just don't talk about it because someone thinks it's complaining, how is there ever going to be fucking awareness? They don't care that I'm sweating, because at the end of the day, I don't care. And I think that we as people who live with chronic illness need to talk about things. We need to be able to share our experience. We need to say, I'm not feeling good today. But then, you know, people don't necessarily get it, especially people that don't have it necessarily sometimes. But how are people ever going to learn stuff if we don't share, right? If we just gatekeep our own illnesses, there's no awareness. Everything falls flat. No one will ever get it. And I'm tired of feeling like people don't get it sometimes. I know there's people that get it. I appreciate the subscribers here. I appreciate, you know, the follows and the subscribes on Twitch. Like, you guys follow me on the other social medias. Like, it means a lot to me. I feel so gross today, and I've injected myself a couple times today, and I don't feel better from it. Like, I'm still reacting because I tried to eat a new brand of pickles. Like, it's so stupid with mast cell activation or mast cell disease, mastocytosis, idiopathic anaphylaxis, because you go and you try to do something to help your body retain salt, as an example. But then there's like certain preservatives that can cause problems, or binders in medication that can cause problems. It's just this endless cycle, unrelenting illness that puts up these walls from and in a way, it like keeps me from doing things. And it's annoying. Like, it's really annoying and frustrating. And at times, like, I want to quit. I'm like everybody else. I'm fucking human. I don't think that I'm above it. I know that I can, you know, pick myself up and put myself back together, because I've done it so many times. And I think that's why when I sew things, I use patchwork, because I'm literally putting myself together like I do with patchwork in my art. That's what I'm doing. I'm putting myself together every morning when I wake up, trying to like relocate something if it's popped out. And lately I've been having to like lay in bed for a couple hours, so I have to get up even earlier if I have like an appointment or a meeting or something, so that I can relocate my joints and then start doing that stuff. It's just, I wish people understood. You know, I wish people were less eager to judge and mock and be ableist and be unkind and lack couth. And I just wish the world could be different at times. Like, I've seen other like content creators who have illness, and I've seen lots of support for them and that kind of stuff, which is really cool and amazing to see that kind of stuff on the internet. Being very like bubbled like I am now, it's given me a lot of time to think. Like, the reason that I don't have a lot of visitors is because of the scented products, right? Like, it's hard to stress that with people, and sometimes people take it personally when it's like, don't use fragrances when you come see me, or don't shower, you know, however many days before you come see me. And people get offended by that, and it's, or like, hey, can you shower at my place? And some people don't want to do that, and I get it, but like, at the end of the day, I also do this thing where I like delete myself from the internet and then come back. And I've done it before, like where I've like tried to like build a chronic illness community, and then I just left everything. And the reason I left everything is because I'm sick, and I felt like I wasn't getting the support I needed, and I needed to support myself because no one else was at the time. So I had to do that for me, and that's something that I end up doing. Is it's like, I love helping other people. I really do. I want to help other people succeed. I want to help other people, you know, find hope. I want to help other people in general. But when it becomes everyone just leans on Ari, who do I get to lean on, you know? So I have to lean on myself. And it makes it really difficult to be there for other people. If I'm there trying to pick up my own pieces, and then other people are wanting me to be there for them, it's just difficult. So I've kind of come to this point where I like will just go AFK for however long I need, so I can put myself back together, so I can get back on my own feet, so I can face the world, face the day on my own. Because at the end of the day, I'm the one that's with me until I die. I'm the only one with me until the day that I die. And I would much rather be able to be that person that I need for myself than look for that in anyone else, because no one else is going to tick off all those boxes other than myself. At the end of the day, I am my biggest supporter. I have been my biggest supporter, and that's because I've had to be. And that's not, you know, trying to boo-hoo or anything. That's just the way that life is. If we don't become our biggest supporter, our biggest helping hand, our comforter in those times of sadness and depression and angst and panic attacks, how else will anyone ever be able to do those things if we don't know what we actually need in those moments? My head is killing me. I don't even think I'm going to be able to do a batch of videos. It's like throbbing so bad right now, and I can't take anything. It sucks. Life with illness doesn't mean your life is over, and I'm sick and I'm doing things, and I'm not saying like push yourself beyond your limits or anything, but do find something that you can do for yourself, no matter how small it is, because that little thing that's just for you makes all the difference. And people can vaguely, you know, say things like do this or that. Like, I've done that myself when I've said things in videos, but at the end of it, like, it has to be something that brings you joy, and the only person that knows what that thing is you. And I've talked about, for me, like art and video games making weird dolls and just doing all this kind of stuff is something that really helps me. So what is something that helps you? Like, I also take a lot of time and I rest. I make lists of things that I'm going to do throughout the day. It's called chunk pacing, the kind of pacing that I do. And then I put sticky notes of what I have to do around, and it's like, okay, you know, if I have like a giant thing I'm writing or something, say it's like 20 or 40 pages, and I need to have it done in 2 months, then work on it every day for 5 minutes and see how far you get, you know, like, or give yourself an hour every day to work on something like that to see how far you can get, and maybe you'll get it finished before the 2-month mark, as an example. So when you do things slowly, you're still making progress. Like, there's that analogy of like the rabbit and the hare. You know, they both finished the race, and just because I may be the rabbit in the hare, oh my goodness, the turtle in the hare. Sorry, the turtle in the hare. So like, you know, maybe I'm more of a turtle than I am a hare. I don't do sprint. I can't sprint physically. I am a little slower going. It takes me longer to get up in the morning because of the amount of pain that I'm in. But I still do the things, and I'm still working towards various goals slowly and gradually. And if I keep at it, I will get my books published. I will have a documentary made by the end of the year. I will do the things that I want to do. I will make an art book, which I am still working on. But it's not about like saying it and then not doing it. It's saying it and making those little steps day by day behind the scenes that no one's seeing, that no one is there rooting me on to do it other than myself to get it done. Because at the end of the day, like I said, I am my biggest supporter, so I am my biggest cheerleader. I am the person that is encouraging me the most. I am the person that's telling me I can do it. And if we look inside of ourselves and when we go to do something, who is that voice inside of your head that's saying you can't do something? Is it your own voice, or is it someone in your life, perhaps a parent, a sibling, a teacher, someone along the way, a friend, you know? Were those the people's voices in your head that's telling you you can't do something? Because I know that when I get to the I can't stage, it's not my own voice. I know whose voice it is. And so I turn away from that person because they're not me. They don't know what I can and cannot do. And I'm not going to limit myself because of someone else's negativity about me. So don't limit yourself with other people's negativity. I'm not saying, you know, go and run a race. I'm not saying any of that stuff. I'm just saying find a hobby. Find something that you love. It doesn't matter how big or how small. Just try something. Because when we change our thoughts, our feelings follow. And to do that usually takes an action, at least for me. It's kind of the same thing with motivation. You know, if you just lay around, you're not going to be motivated. And I understand that some people with chronic illness cannot get out of bed. And I'm not saying get out of bed and do stuff. I'm saying find something you enjoy doing in bed. Because I've been stuck in bed for a year before. And I still drew in bed. Because that helped me get through those over 300 days of being in bed. Everybody has different capabilities. Everybody has different abilities. And just because we're all different doesn't mean that we don't have something to offer. Every single one of us has something to offer this world. Every single one of us is vital to society, to our family, to our friends, to our spouses. So don't forget that. And thank you for listening to me natter on here for almost 15 minutes. I appreciate you. Thank you to the recent subscribers. Thank you for the comments. I do see them. I do my best to reply to them. If I haven't replied to something, please just double tag me so I can check it again. Sometimes I get really bad brain fog, and I also get really bad head pains. And when I get the head pains, I tend to forget things as well. So I apologize for that. I appreciate you guys. If you want, please come on over and check me out on Twitch. Sometimes I play video games. Sometimes we do art. It's been a while since I've done some art. So we're about due for doing some art here soon. And I'm hoping to start community days where we play games together. Take good care. Find joy for yourself. No one else. You. make a list of things that bring you joy. That's your homework for the week. And then let me know in the comment section down below something that brings you joy. I gotta go eject myself again before I start vomiting.